Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Couch Co-op Podcast. This is episode 5, and I'm Riley, and I'm, as always, joined by Cal. How are you doing?
Cal. I am great, and this is our big 5. It's going to be a good show. We've got some good stuff to talk about. Lots of drama,
Oh, yeah.
as if we didn't need more drama to talk about. But this
Yeah.
is special drama because it's phase drama.
Yeah. So, if...
I'm good, though. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm alright. Spent a busy day of editing videos and cleaning my room and house up, even though it looks more messy than usual, but...
That's all right.
off camera it looks better than it does on camera. So but yeah, so the phase drama, if anyone is kind of uninitiated, phase is an esports organization, mostly, I would say mostly comprised of like Call of Duty players. I think they dabble in other games, but it's mostly Call of Duty from what I know.
Yeah.
So to kind of sum it up is that the OGs, like a group of like 5 or 6 people, sold the company to well, I don't know, like a bunch of old heads, I guess is the best way to put it. So basically now it's like any other corporation like Activision, and not long ago it was leaked by one of the OGs that they would be bringing on a woman. I know, right?
Oh, no. They can't play games?
So like, and the reason why everyone was so up in arms was because it was clear that they brought this woman on because, one, she was in one episode of Stranger Things, the first episode of season 4, and also because I guess they wanted to like clean up their image or whatever, because like the OGs and like especially some of the new people are known for like crypto scams and stuff like over the past year or two. So yeah, so they brought this woman on, and then eventually it comes out with this brand new promo video, and everyone is like, yo, FaZe Rain, the OG who leaked it, was like, yeah, he was right, wow, okay. So everybody just started dogging on FaZe Clan and this like Twitch streamer / actress, and it just spiraled out of control into this whole like feud between FaZe Rain and I think her name is Grace Van Dyne, the person that they hired. So yeah, it's quite the tornado right now. Things are kind of at a standstill from what I know, but last I heard, FaZe Rain went to her house to talk about things, but I kind of skipped over 1 or 2 parts, but from what I heard is that, you know, she left the room crying, and now she's like removed FaZe from like all of her bios and stuff. So yeah, but like the whole feud started with like it started with Rain calling her mid, you know, like kind of like going after her appearance, which I would agree with people that say that that's like out of pocket and unnecessary. And then Grace comes back saying like, you know, you overdosed and almost killed yourself. Not those exact words, but you know, something like that. And you know, everyone on either side was just trying to light each other on fire. So yeah, it's a very interesting situation.
Yeah, that is interesting. I feel like there's so many layers we could peel back here, and I don't know how far we want to go tonight, but it's so funny that you said that she's on Stranger Things because I had no idea. I watched the drama video between Rain and Grace. It's Grace, right? I think it's Grace.
Yeah.
That somebody recorded, and at the end, like you were saying, she basically walks out and she's like, "Don't you post that? If you post that, I'm done with FaZe," or whatever, you know. And she like walks away, and of course they post it, and I guess she's done with FaZe. But I just realized after looking that she plays Chrissy
Yeah.
on Stranger Things. See, I had no idea looking at her. So that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. If I'm being honest, I had no idea. But yeah, I think I mean, you know more about it than I do. This whole week has kind of been a whirlwind for me. I didn't really stay on top of stuff, but I think good for FaZe for, trying.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately you're a gamer company and you've made millions of dollars off of gamers, and you I understand trying to clean up your corporate image, which is what I think they're trying to do. But what I would say the boomers don't get about trying to clean up your corporate image as like a gamer company, none of the gamers want that. Nobody wants that. Like, people want OG FaZe, like FaZe Banks is probably the most, FaZe Jev, there's some pretty famous names out there. And that's like, it's so far from what people want from FaZe, I think. Not hiring a female. I don't have a problem with that. Good. I think that's good. But I think, hiring just specifically to hire, like, they hired somebody popular, basically, is what I would say. What I got from him saying, you're mid, I didn't catch that he was talking about her looks. I thought he was talking about like her as a gamer, and I would say that she's mid as a gamer from what I've seen. Like,
Yeah.
FaZe is top of the line gamers. Like, FaZe is like top tier gamers. Is what it was supposed to be, anyways. So like in that sense, I get it, and like I agree. It's like you just brought somebody popular in to, one, show that you hired a female, and two, to show that you're hiring these popular people. You're trying to get into the popular, like the what's the other one? OTK, like that brand of streamers, which I would say are they're really popular, but are they like FaZe level gamers? No, I don't think so.
No.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah. But I think like the main issue with her being hired on is like the whole like gamer thing, is that like the words that like her and like the company used was signed on, because like gamers would like join the org and then make content and whatnot. And it just seemed like we're saying, man, just like a stunt to reach like the broader audience, clean up their image, and people will see it as like Hollywood trying to get into the gaming space.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I would agree with that. And like, to be honest, I would say the only thing that FaZe needed to clean up that I'm aware of is the crypto scams.
Yeah.
Like, get your crypto scammers out, and they could have not changed a single thing and been perfectly fine, in my opinion, from what I know. Like, I think that's what, you get these corporations, these big CEOs that come in, they take over these gaming companies, and I think FaZe is the only one I can think of right now. I'm sure there's other examples, and they're like, we want to put on this good image and all this. None of the gamers want that. Yeah. So like, I think by trying to bring people in by hiring somebody popular, you push 3 or 4 more people away that really respected FaZe, and now it's like you're saying, it's a Hollywood, it's Hollywood invading the game space, I would say. Or they're making their moves to invade it, anyways.
Yeah.
I saw this great. I'll have to find it to you. I looked and I'll look some more, but it was a meme of their whole altercation, and it was kind of him saying like, you're mid, and she walks out, she's like, don't you post this or I'm leaving, or whatever, however she words it. And then it cuts to like probably the most classic FaZe meme ever, and it plays like the really hardcore music with this. It's like the hard, not the hard scoping, the sniping clip. Yeah, the no scope, and it just like goes boom, 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 and it's really fast. And it was the funniest thing because it really like reminded me of what FaZe used to be, and now like what they're trying to turn it into. Like I think it's a joke personally. But.
Yeah, it also reminds me of when they signed on like Snoop Dogg as like an owner or something, and like what did he ever do? To my knowledge, he like live streamed once, left his stream on for 8 hours on accident, and then got up in the morning and then was like, I left this thing on all night. and then turns it off. So
Yeah, he's like, oh boy, I left the sun all night.
yeah.
Bitch, if I have to, you know why. Am I still streaming? I would hope not.
So
I really want to find that and send it to you. I will send it to you because it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
great.
yeah, but yeah, that whole thing is messy and kind of blown out of proportion. Like from what it first started as, and it'll probably get even worse, I think.
I'm sure. Well, do you know how it's like? Do you know what actually started it? Like, I know that FaZe, Rain, and Grace were fighting about, but do you know like what actually started their fight?
Well, like I know, like after she got announced, FaZe Rain posted a video talking about how like how like she was like mid like physically, and I think he even said like he wouldn't sleep with her or something like that. And then that's what caused her to say the whole overdosing thing, because I guess he overdosed at one point.
Okay,
And yeah, so that's where that started.
gotcha.
I kind of a side note. I really don't like FaZe Rain. I don't. I never liked him. All like because like there's this one like close friend of mine who like I don't know. I don't want to say this in like a bad way, but like his life kind of like I don't know, fell off a bit, I guess, because he started watching like FaZe Rain's Vape Lord Nord videos, and then he started vaping constantly, and then like you could just see that kid's eyes change, like literally his eyes would be like bloodshot walking down the street like vaping and stuff, and like, but anyway, that's like, you know, this whole situation doesn't really paint FaZe Rain in the best light for me either. So
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. I honestly don't. I haven't kept. I couldn't probably tell you 3 current members of FaZe, if I'm being honest. I think FaZe has completely fallen off in general. You know,
yeah.
I mean, you've got like the classic ones like Banks, Jev. Can I name another one? I
Apex,
feel like there's Apex. Yeah, there's like the main ones that like started it and really pushed it into popularity, and now. So I honestly don't. Besides Rain, and I wouldn't even know Rain if it wasn't for this. I don't know any FaZe members.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Back in the day when they were at the OG FaZe house, I used to watch those videos all the time. That was a good time.
Yeah, I think that's what kills me too about the whole, like, not that there are sellouts for selling it, but selling out FaZe was, I think, like the worst. Not the worst. It was probably like the biggest mistake, I would say, that they could have made. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it takes to run a gaming org. I know it's huge. I know it takes a lot of money. So eventually, like the original creators can't do it. But man, talk about just destroying your legacy. Just sell out to a corporate fat cat and just let them and just watch it burn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what happens to like the gaming industry sometimes. Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of the FaZe drama right now. Last I saw, Grace, like, you know, went private on everything, removed FaZe from all of her names and stuff. So
really has that hardcore, you know, gamer mentality that can stand up to any criticism. And
I know.
Classic FaZe member move right there, you know.
Yeah. Anything else that you wanted to touch on with that?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think, I don't really have anything else to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of criticism, I have a quick short story to tell that happened kind of last night and today. So last night, me and a friend of mine, Maul, and one of my moderators of my YouTube channel, Gamify, we were playing Fall Guys, and I was live streaming as I do, and this guy comes in my chat. He's like, "Yeah, hey, what's up? You know, I make custom maps in Fall Guys," and he gives me this like code to play one of his custom maps because you can do that now. So I plug it in. I have two of my buddies coming with me, and this map that he made is just really, really hard, and we're trying our best to get through it. And eventually, my mod makes it through it. I get through it, and now it's just Maul that has to get through it. And my friend and the guy in my chat is just laying into him like, wow, this guy has like such a skill issue, he sucks so bad, you know, just like stuff like that. And like he was just bullying him just relentlessly. So eventually we like go on to play like normal public matches, and we're playing on this one map with a bunch of pipes in it, and he's like, I would be so scared to go inside that pipe that Maul went in because he left a skill issue to block it off. And just like all of this, like just bullying. And
Yeah.
and like this guy is just not letting up at all. So eventually Maul leaves for the night, and then I shut the stream down. And then I wake up this morning to a message on Discord from Maul saying, "You need to ban that guy in the chat right now." And I'm like, wait, what? Why? He's like, because my PlayStation account has been banned for 7 days. And I'm like, wait, are you serious? He's like, yeah. So yeah, and he said that it's because of one of two reasons. One, he thinks that the guy in my chat reported him because he was so bad at Fall Guys that he wanted to be banned from the PlayStation. So there's that. And then there's also the other possibility of his dad getting the PlayStation account banned, because I guess his dad plays like online shooter games on. They share the PlayStation, so he plays like Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot, I think. And I guess he was like sending messages to people in the game, and like that might have been that might have been it too. But so it's kind of hard to say between the supposed nasty messages from his dad or the harassment from the guy in my chat, but
Or his skill issue.
yeah. So yeah. I just thought that was kind of funny. It's kind of weird though, because like the guy in my chat just was not letting up, and then I wake up and he was like, "Ban that guy, ban him now. I don't care if he did it or not, ban him." So yeah, that was a funny interaction.
That's funny. It's funny though, because as you're saying that, I had flashbacks. I used to play, still play occasionally, but used to play a lot more Rainbow Six Siege with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we would play once or twice a week. You know, we'd load it up, shoot some terrorists. You know, normal Rainbow Six Siege stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I go to get on, and my account is just banned. It's hard banned, and I'm like, what in the heck? Because it had been a good 3, 4, 5 months probably. It was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time we played, I couldn't remember what I had done. Like, I never chat. Like, I never yell at people. I don't have my mic on with I just have it on Discord. So I'm not sure what happened. The only thing I can guess is my account was banned, or same thing, like somebody didn't like something that I did and they reported me. So luckily I made another account, and the game was on sale for like $5, I think. So I still had to spend more money, which I didn't want to, but yeah, that's unfortunate. See, I think that, to me, I get banning players and like if they're not living up to but having like a specific reason, I think would be helpful.
Yeah.
So people don't, replicate it. Like, I don't know what I did. Maul doesn't know what he did.
Yeah.
Depends on how hard his dad was roasting all the kids he was playing. So what do you think was more likely?
It's tough to say. I'd probably say his dad.
That seems more likely to
I
me.
don't. I don't see why someone would go to such extreme lengths to try to get someone banned on the PlayStation because they suck at a video game. I mean, I've seen it happen, but I don't see it happening to
Yeah,
me or him. So,
that's
yeah,
funny though.
yeah,
That's funny. The pain. A whole week. Wow.
yeah,
That's like an eternity for a gamer.
yeah. See you Sunday, Mall.
Next time.
Yeah. So, you had some more Activision talk to go over.
You know, when I sent that, I was like, I don't even know if I want to talk about Activision anymore, dude. Like, I'm so sick of it. I know Riley's sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. But I couldn't pass this up because I watched a video. I don't know who it was from, and they talked about a conspiracy theory for Activision. And I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'm gonna go deeper. So the theory is there's basically two possibilities. One is, I think the deeper, darker one is that Activision is going out and they are paying hackers to ruin the old games. And they are putting out cease and desists to shut down these old clients so people are forced to go to their new gen, their latest game. What kind of, I mean, the timing, like that was the big point of the video. Is like, how do you time it like that to where all of a sudden, I mean, it's been going on, and I know Black Ops 3 for months, Black Ops 2, all the older games, but just barely. Cold War, Black Ops Cold War is currently unplayable, supposedly. And I talked to, or I didn't talk to someone. I saw, I think it's Joe Met. I don't remember. I followed him on Twitter a long time ago, but he was talking about it. He was streaming on Black Ops Cold War, and he got kicked off. And it's been confirmed by quite a few people that Black Ops Cold War is unplayable and it's not safe to play. So that really, and that was like the big thing, is it was supposed to be these more aged games, these more aged clients aren't very safe, but Activision has implemented new measures, blah blah blah, even though the new game still has tons of cheaters. But that's kind of the big thing, is people are speculating now that Activision is hiring hackers, or maybe not hiring, but like, hey, why don't you go go do this, go ruin this old game. We won't do anything to you. They're ruining all the old games, including Black Ops Cold War, which was it's a 2-year-old game. It's not that old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, nobody wants to play Vanguard, so I don't think you have to worry about Vanguard.
Yeah.
But that's the big one, is they're paying people to go ruin their old games, pushing people to their new game, and the timing is the big thing there. The other theory is that, not accusing anyone, I would love it if they were. Like, I think it would be awesome if the actual people who had been making these clients, these mods, were trying to get revenge on Activision. And that's the theory, is, well, hey, you shut us down, we're gonna drive business away from your new game because nobody wants to play it. We don't want to play it. We were trying to make it so people could enjoy these old games that you made, but they don't make money on those. They don't got the $60 microtransaction for the cat ear bunny operator or whatever it is. Side note, I also saw that they put Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx bundles in the store. Did you go buy those?
Of course. Oh yeah.
I did too. Second I saw him, I was like, well, if Tim the Tatman's in the game, now I can play it. I can enjoy it now.
I made a second, third account just to buy him again and again. I mean, why
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
I?
pass these on to my kids. Like, man, these
Yeah.
are like great things. But those are basically the conspiracy theories. Is that Activision's trying to ruin the old games. They're putting up cease and desist for the old clients so people can't play them, because they want people to go to the new game and buy the Nick Merckx operator bundle. Or the hackers, people who actually made the old clients, are trying to ruin it for Activision, which I would much prefer the second one. I think that would be awesome, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that organized, personally.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them, because if you remember, there is a literal patent for skill-based matchmaking to to literally change how gunfights work like live in a match to push people to the shop to buy bundles.
Yeah.
So like and like I experienced it firsthand in like Cold War when that game was going on. Like there is literally such thing as aim resist. I experienced it constantly. Like I would like aim at an enemy and then it would just kind of like circle around it or something, and like, you know, my bullets are like pebbles. It is Cold War multiplayer sucks, but besides that, that part was obviously not due to like Treyarch, I think, but it was just nasty stuff, man. I can't. Well, I can believe that Activision would do this, and not to like drag this Activision talk on a lot, but like also Bobby Kotick went on like the record with like Variety, I think, and was like talking about how like everything that like comes out about him and his company is a bunch of BS, and like, you know, nobody's stealing breast milk in the offices, all these lawsuits are fake, like just all this, you know, drama that we've heard of over the past few years. And yeah, I don't like Activision Blizzard.
Me neither. I mean, like I said, I was hesitant to bring it up because I feel like we've trashed them enough. Mm-hmm. Not that they don't deserve more, but I feel like we have spent a lot of time talking about them.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting from me liking conspiracy theories. Like, if that came out to be true, can you imagine? How many people would still buy the next Call of Duty because they don't care?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Also, continuing this back to the Nick Merckx stuff. Mm-hmm. I saw people were complaining they were giving pushback to that, to him, you know, going and doing that, and basically like they can put all this work into making more operator bundles and working with, you know, Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx, these guys, but they can't fix their game. They can't make their game playable. And Nick Merckx, like, I get what he's saying. Like, I don't blame him for saying it. Basically, his take was like, well, look, guys, this is a step in the right direction for creators, which is what he is. He's a creator. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not mad at him, but I get what people are saying. They're like, come on, like, you can take all this extra time. It probably took hundreds of hours to put these two people into the game, and the game's still trash. Most of the time, people can't play it. But, you know, we're just supposed to go buy the new operator bundle. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have any hate for the creators that go and, you know, go get money, go get paid. But mm-hmm. I get where people are like, come on, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, they haven't had their priorities straight for a long time, I don't think. So.
No. Not since. Like, I would say Zombie Chronicles is the last time they had their priorities straight, personally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was the last good thing they did. Mm-hmm. That went out of the way, because they still made a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But, like, that went out of the way to, like, actually do something for the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll never happen again, so we don't have to worry about ZC2. And stop clicking on all of the videos about Zombie Chronicles 2 coming out real soon.
Yeah, I honestly, personally, I don't even think I want it anymore, dude. It's just,
nah.
Like, especially with like how like the newer games keep coming out and just being worse and worse and worse. I don't. Just put it on Black Ops 3. No one will complain.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough Activision talk. I just thought I'd bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Mizzy? You put Mizzy in the. I don't actually know what's going on. Is this Mizkif?
No. Mizzy is a TikToker who goes into people's houses and records their reaction. He's this UK guy, and it's just stupid. And he got arrested, I want to say, at least twice for it. So, and he's, to my knowledge, he's still doing it. So, yeah. It's just stupid, man. stupid kids these days, I guess, had nothing better to do. So,
Right. Okay. So I wasn't sure if that's because I know there's more Mizkif drama like every other day, but no, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, I actually did see. I've seen two of his videos. The first one, like you're saying, there's someone out in the yard and the door's open and him and his friends they just walk in and there's like four guys and they're not like 12-year-old kids. They're like 16, 17. They're like big kids, like borderline young adult, if not adult already. Like you should know better. And like I would say they're lucky, and I'm sure there's a reason they didn't do it in the United States, but for reasons I won't say, on this, but and the video is really, I would say, scary as somebody who does have kids, and you don't have to have kids to be scared of someone invading your house, but that's one of my big fears as a parent is that somebody will just walk into my house one day or one night. And these guys walk in and the dad's like, what is going on here? And the guy goes in, Mizzy goes in and he sits on the couch and he's just chilling. He puts his foot up.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. we're just walking into people's houses. Oh, mate. And it's just like stupid, man. Like, I think it's one of the dumbest things. There's a lot of dumb stuff out there, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I'm not for censorship. Like, I don't think a lot of stuff should be taken down, but things that are dangerous that should, like, that is up there with Tide Pods. Like, stupid. Stupid. Like, how come they can take down, like, they can censor like swear words and stuff like that, but Tide Pod videos are still left up. Like, that is one of the dangers because the younger generation are stupid.
And like the funniest part about this whole thing is that Piers Morgan had him on his show, and
really?
It was like one of the funniest interviews ever. They were like, Piers Morgan was like, "Yeah, I think you're an idiot." He's like, "Oh, oi, I think I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot." And they was calling each other idiots back and forth. And like,
oh, dude,
it's just like, like Piers was like, so what does your mom think about this, eh? And he's like, yeah, I don't really care what she says. I just kind of do whatever. So
apparently,
yeah. It's just, man.
It just like it really goes to show for me, anyways. It's like people are bored, and I don't get it, man. Like, I have never once been that bored in my life that I'm just like, I'm just gonna walk into someone's house today, and like a certain point of it, I guess you could have to lay the blame at content creation in general, like clicks.
Yeah.
But like you really, that's up there with like video game violence. Like, not everybody who plays GTA goes out and runs somebody over or shoots someone. So that's a character issue. Like, you just walk into someone's house with no fear. Like, they had absolutely no fear.
Yeah. And like, what were you doing when you were his age for fun? Let's see, what was I doing besides playing video games? Sometimes I would like, go out and like make forts outside, like at my friends' houses, and like run around the neighborhood doing like Nerf gun fights, like stuff like that. It's nothing on that scale.
Right.
So
yeah, like, I would say the most delinquent thing, maybe I shouldn't say this, the most delinquent thing me and my friends did is on 4th of July. We filled up these water balloons and we were driving around and we threw them and we hit this guy. One of my buddies hit him right on the butt, dude. And he was getting up in the back of his truck and it hit him right on his cheek. And they had ATVs, like really fast, like souped up ATVs. And they come tearing after us. And we're just like, they're like, pull over. And we're going down the main street of our town, which is like a 35-mile-an-hour zone. But I didn't want to let him I was driving. I didn't want to let him get in front of me. So I'm hauling. We were probably doing like 80 down Main Street. But like, that still, to me, like, I look back at that and I'm like, that's stupid. Like, that was a dumb thing to do. But I look at what these guys are doing and that's asinine, dude. Like, it's absolutely stupid. Like I said, you do that in the wrong house in the United States and you'll get rocked.
yeah.
And then the people will probably go to jail because you're an idiot. Like, just... Like, it's borderline, like, it's not content if you're purposely doing it to ruin someone's life. And that's how I look at it. Like, you kind of are hoping for something bad to happen for your name to get out there is the way I see it. Like
Yeah.
you want the negative clicks.
Definitely. And I
And
would
then,
say that's what mostly gets clicks too, is negative
Yep.
stuff. Because
Right.
yeah.
Like we're gonna walk into this house. The other clip I saw, same guy. There's an older lady in the park, and they walk up. Did you see this one? They walk up,
where
and they're like,
he steals
"Oh,
their
is
dog.
this?" Yeah, they're like, "Oh, is that your dog?" And she's like, "Yeah," and they just like take it and run off with it. And I mean, I'm sure they give it back. I don't know, but
Yeah.
same thing. Like people are protective of their pets too, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, Mizzy went back to the family's house with all the kids in it and like apologized like the day after or whatever. But like,
I don't care.
yeah, that doesn't change anything. So yeah, just
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I also, this isn't probably not the nicest thing of me to say, but like, at some point, I don't feel bad for stupid people. Like, I've watched like fail army videos with people who are like squeamish, and they're like, "Ooh," and I'm like laughing my butt off, and they're like, "Doesn't that like?" And I'm like, "Doesn't that bother you?" I'm like, "No, because he's an idiot, and he like deserved what was coming to him."
Yeah.
And I look at that the same way here. Like, I don't know how many times people can do stupid things that we as a society are supposed to feel bad for them, but that like that's out there. Like I don't know.
no, I agree.
Stupid.
Stupid. Yeah.
You're stupid. I gotta watch that Piers Morgan interview now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. What is your favorite video game ever?
Oh man. You know, when you that's a tough one. So let me ask you this. What do you mean favorite? Like game I've played the most, or like my just favorite game? It should probably be the same, but they're not for me.
Yeah, just like the game that like covers like every like number possible, like playtime, fun, excitement, time.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff, everything pretty much.
So mine is, and it's an older game, but I played it when I was really young, and that's probably why it holds such a special place in my heart, because me and my best friend played through it together.
Yeah.
Like we had a playthrough where like we were like, all right, we're not going to play on this unless we're together, and we're going to do. So it's Final Fantasy VII. Have you played?
No, never.
And this is the original now, not the remake. But my uncle, he had a PlayStation at my grandma's house, original PlayStation, and he had Final Fantasy VII there. And I remember one day he was just, for whatever reason, he didn't want his PlayStation anymore, and he's like, you can have it. And I was like, oh, cool. And there was like Crash Bandicoot, and there's a few of these other games. And he's like, I probably shouldn't give this game to you, but I'm going to, because I was like 10 at the time. Like, if your mom gets mad at me, or if your mom gets mad you have this, it wasn't me. And I'm like, I swear, like I just wanted to play the game. And great game. It has an amazing story. It's like a longer game. I think it's like a 60-hour playthrough, but amazing story, amazing characters. And I've wanted to play through it, but I just don't have the time to play through such a long game. So for a lot of my memories, it's that playing through that game with my friend. Yeah.
That's like an MMO, right?
Yeah. So it's classic MMO, like nerd city. Yeah. But great game if you're willing to sit through the 60-hour story time, and then of course to 100% it, you got to spend like I think 150 to 200 hours. It's a long game. But yeah.
How
I
many
would say
hours?
for me,
How many hours would you say you put into it in total?
so I think I played through it probably 2 times in its totality. I probably put around 150 hours into it total
Okay.
between my my 2 playthroughs of it. My original one, and then when I replayed it with my friend. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I still think one of the best stories ever in gaming. I won't get into it because it's a long story. I wouldn't even get close to scratching the surface of it. But yeah,
Nice.
definitely. I mean, if you have 60 hours, it's a great game. Very dated, and I haven't played the remake, but I guess the remake is also really excellently done too. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
I don't have any posters of it behind me, but I have some next to me. It's The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Skyrim.
It's yeah, my favorite game of all time. The game I've easily poured the most amount of my life into. It's it was that game that, and I'm sorry, Mom, but that I would call in sick to school and stay home and play it all day. That's the kind of game that it was for me. And yeah, it's just one of those games. It's kind of like Minecraft, where I could always pick it up and have a good time. Maybe not for like a full playthrough or whatever, because I played it so much, but I could always have a good time playing it. And and that's just with like the vanilla game. Like I don't even like mess with mods or anything. So it's yeah, one of my favorite games ever. It's like the world is so beautiful. The quest lines and stuff are like so replayable. The lore is so rich in the Elder Scrolls universe as a whole. And yeah, I've put maybe like at least maybe like 700 hours to maybe like 1,000. It's a lot, but yeah, it's my favorite game of all time, and it will always stay in here.
That's awesome. Yeah. I purposefully don't get into games sometimes because I know like I'll never get my life back, and that's one I've never dared. I've played probably about an hour of it, and I never dared get farther into it than that because I know myself. I know I will just. That's all I'll think about.
Yeah, yeah. I've gotten to the point to where I'm listening to like to like Elder Scrolls lore videos while I'm working. So yeah, that's how that's going.
Yeah, I actually, so I had a job. I worked on a farm, and during the winter, we would just spend all day in a shop just working on equipment. And I actually went through. It's funny because I haven't really played. I played what was one before Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I did play quite a bit Oblivion, probably like 100 hours of that one, which was fun, great time.
Yeah.
But I watched through an entire series on YouTube, and it was like 100 videos long because I had all winter. Fascinating lore. Like you don't pick up on so much of it when you're playing the games, but yeah, they have a very rich lore in that game.
Yeah.
How far are you into the lore?
I have gotten to the point to where, let's see, I have watched about as many videos like in equal number of videos compared to like the amount of videos there are on Chris Chan on the internet. So, thousands of videos, thousands of hours of videos. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm invested. I'm very worried about number 6 though, the Elder Scrolls 6. We went over that last time. I think it's
But Bethesda never screws up a game.
Yeah, okay. Again, we'll see you at the end of the year in Starfield. So
Yeah.
yeah. Get those excitement gears working. We're going to be there sooner than you know it.
But and that's why there was a little bit of hesitation on my part because the game I probably played the most, I think I have I guess I could look. I don't have it pulled up. I think I have around 300 to 400 hours into Black Ops 3 just on PC on Steam, and I've probably got another 300 or 400 into it on PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I think I would say Black Ops 3 is probably my most played game, and it's definitely maybe like a number 2 or number 3 game for me. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII will probably forever be my favorite game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say Black Ops 3 is number two. I don't know the hours, but I have at least like 30 days put into the game as a whole, like just on the PlayStation 4 stats page. But yeah, I played that game
Yeah.
a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So
Good old BO3.
mm-hmm.
That one will always be up there.
Yeah. But to Activision, he will always be down there.
Thanks, Activision. Thanks for ruining a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so this kind of goes into our next topic. So what would be your
What's going on there? You going through a time machine?
I don't know. I messed up my camera. What happened? I actually don't know what happened there. My OBS pulled up in the background, and so I think it messed up my camera source.
Mm-hmm.
What I started to say is, so what would be your first gaming experience then?
First gaming experience. I want to. I think I know it. Yeah, I think I do. It's really hard to say. It's one of these two, so I'm just gonna kind of tie them in. So when I was maybe like 9 or 10 years old, I had this friend that lived down the street. He was like 2 or 3 years younger than me. And one day I went over to his house and he had an Xbox 360 with Halo Reach on it. And I had, again, I'm not sure which one was first, but I had barely any like experience with like video games, if any. And yeah, like split screen co-op on Halo Reach was one of the very earliest times I've ever played a video game, and that was so much fun. And only in the past year have I actually gotten an Xbox and Halo Reach for myself. So yeah, it would either be that one or this other one. It was another friend's house, again around the same time. I don't know when, but he also had an Xbox 360, and he had, I think it was Ghost Recon 2 maybe, and some like hunting game. And yeah, we would play Ghost Recon 2 like split screen, and that was also a lot of fun. And I would say those got me into video games. Yeah, they were just so much fun. So I had to, my dad one day brought home a PlayStation 3 and a bunch of games when I want to say like 2 or 3 years before the PS4 came out. So, and it's like the big fat one too.
Yeah.
So it had a lot of space on it. Never ran out of space on that thing, even though I had like 20 or 30 games installed on it. But yeah, those, as far as I can tell, that's the earliest, first, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's a kind of a hard trying to think of like early memories with like how busy life gets later on. But yeah, I would say that. What about
Well,
you?
Halo, I would say Halo Reach is a great one to be your first to remember too. Like,
Yeah.
that's a great game.
Yeah.
Multiplayer on that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my earliest memory, was, and this was right. I mean, this was Nintendo 64 era, and I had to have been 5, 6 maybe. But I remember we had just gotten one. I don't remember actually getting it. I just remember having a Nintendo 64, and like holding the controller was like. Did you ever have one?
No.
A 64. Did you play one though?
Yeah.
So you know the controller. Just holding that controller and it being so weird.
Yeah.
Because, and I guess we must have had like a Super Nintendo before that, because I remember holding the Nintendo controller, but like I just remember feeling so awkward in my hand, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to hold it in the middle or on the side, and just being the weirdest thing. So I remember we got one. I don't remember how or where, or I don't know. I remember waking up super early. It was like 3, 4 in the morning, and I tiptoed down the stairs, and we had a really, really, it was a massive basement, but needed to be completely renovated. So it got so cold in the downstairs, just concrete walls, no insulation. And I remember turning on the Nintendo 64 on our tiny little our tube television that probably weighs like 60 or 70 pounds. And I played Super Mario 64 for like 4 hours until my dad is always the first one to wake up, and I could hear him upstairs. And I was trying not to make very much noise. And I don't know how he knew I was down there because I had the sound off, and yeah, but he came downstairs, and I thought he was going to be so mad, but he just had this look of just like joy. And I don't know if it's because I was enjoying the present he bought for us, or if he was just like genuinely surprised to see me. But yeah, so I went downstairs. I played for a good 3-4 hours. I think I only got like 4 or 5 stars. Like, to me, the game was so hard back then, which is funny now because I play it and it's like, this is easy, kind of easy. But yeah, that would be my first, is Super Mario 64. Sneaking downstairs. My mom absolutely hated us playing any games whatsoever, which is funny because I ended up playing a lot of games. So yeah, I would say that's my earliest. Yeah.
Oh, what was your first game on there?
On the 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Mario 64, Super Mario 64.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't actually remember. Oh no, I do remember a couple of others. There was Paper Mario. I don't know if you ever have played the Paper Mario games. I remember getting that for, I think, my 9th birthday. And then Donkey Kong 64 was another one. Some really obscure games they had on that thing. Mario Party, Mario Kart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good old Mario Kart. Mario Kart was like one of those games where I felt like I like grew up on, like, as a person. Like, my personality grew because of that game. Like like when in yet again, middle school, on the school bus, like in the morning, and not on the way home, so in the morning we would all like bring our DS's and play Mario Kart, and that was like always such a fun time, man. And actually, kind of in like a long way, that's how I got my first like girlfriend and kiss and stuff, was through like Mario Kart on the school bus. And like, that's not the only game either. We would play like Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the DS on like local matches. Like, man, that was another time. That was so much fun. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Call of Duty on the DS, because there's a meme going around of that's the only safe console you can play Call of Duty on anymore is the DS.
Wow. I'm sure that's true.
True. Like, it's pretty true. Like, so for now.
Yeah.
I'm sure hackers will ruin that one too. But.
Oh boy. I don't know, man. Nintendo is like a warden, man. They are lock and key on everything, and if you try to hack them, they will ruin your life.
It's true.
Yeah,
literally.
So.
Yeah, I saw the a while back. Have you played any of like the newer Zelda games? Did you play Breath of the Wild?
Maybe 5 or 6 hours in Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what it is then.
Yeah.
Well, there's this guy, and I don't know if he made the mod or if he just was like the most popular one to use it. His name's Point Crow. Have you ever seen any of his stuff?
No.
So there's a mod out there, at least there used to be, and I think Nintendo made him take it down. I can't confirm that, but it allowed you to play Breath of the Wild multiplayer, and he put this video out and got, of course, millions of views, because who wouldn't want to see a bunch of people playing Breath of the Wild together? Well, Nintendo hit him pretty hard, and I think they threatened legal action if he didn't like take down all the videos and the content. And then they went and they struck a bunch of his videos, like every Nintendo video he had on his channel, which is basically everything he has. Which, I mean, we can throw a lot of hate at Activision, but I think Nintendo definitely deserves some of that hate as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's just
Which,
crazy.
which is weird to me because, like, you would think. I mean, I don't know. I would think as a developer, or like Nintendo, or a company like Nintendo, one of the big reasons, probably actually the biggest reason I bought Black Ops 3 on the PC was so I could play custom mods, which I didn't know was a thing until I saw like Noah J456, Mr. Offwall. Like I saw all the people playing and putting videos up on their channels. Like it's free advertising, Nintendo. Like I don't understand. Like it's just such a mentality of like, don't touch my things, don't mess with my stuff. It's like it's like a spoiled child syndrome. Like I just don't get it, man.
I don't either. It seems like most companies like celebrate or like,
Yeah.
welcome modders and stuff, especially in like Bethesda games with
Right.
the exclusion of Fallout 76. That's but, most other games are pretty much fine. Oh, and the Creation Club. So maybe Bethesda isn't the best example anymore, but they were, and yeah, so yeah, it just seems like most of them are pretty welcoming of modders. So I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. It just seems like free advertising to me. Like, why wouldn't you want that? But
Yeah.
what is the grossest food you have ever encountered?
Okay. Oh yeah. So let's see. A little over a year ago, I was working at an Amazon warehouse, like a grocery warehouse, and I was picking orders, and one day there was this order for a bag of potatoes, and I go to the produce aisle. I'm looking for the potatoes, and I see where like the bags are. They're on the top shelf or whatever, and I see what looks like coffee dripping down onto the floor, and I'm like, does somebody seriously spill their coffee on a bag of potatoes? So I'm pushing my little cart. I'm going up there. I pull up next to the potatoes, and the smell just hits me like a freight train, like that has been just sitting there, corroded, rotting for weeks. And I'm like, oh, and I pick it up, and it's just like the bag spills open, a bunch of it gets on me, and it's just like gross, rotten, like waterized potatoes, just disgusting. And it smelled so gross. They were all like black and white. None of them were brown. Smelled like top three worst smells ever. And by the way, the worst part is all three of those smells were in that Amazon job, in that warehouse, in my life. So yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. I have never seen potatoes that gross. It was so bad.
Oh, that's
Luckily,
gross,
there
dude.
were like other potatoes there that weren't affected by that radiation poisoning, but yeah, it was gross. It got all over me. I had to go home and change. I got my dress shirt all grossed out. So yeah,
That's gross, dude.
yeah, man. Do you have any unfathomable, disgusting food that you have encountered?
So I have a couple, and I struggled when thinking about this because there's two. One, all right, I'll go with that one. So I was just hanging out with three other guys, and I don't even remember how we got onto it. I lost a bet, and there was this thing. It's pickled pig's feet. Have you ever had pickled pig's feet?
I've I've seen videos of people eating them, and they look gross, man.
Oh, dude. So I lost a bet. And like it's so weird to me because I can't remember. And I think I was just so stressed out because I knew I was gonna have to eat pickled pig's foot. I don't even remember how I lost the bet or whatever. And so we go into the store and it's just this tiny little convenience store. And for whatever reason, they have like 5 jars of pickled pig's feet. And I don't know how long they've been there because it wasn't like we didn't normally see them. Like it was just like such a weird thing. And I think that's what got us started onto it. Like, oh, I dare you to eat a pickled pig's foot. And we're like, no. So I ended up losing. But the deal was that I would go first. Like we were all going to try it. And so we go in, we buy it, and we don't even get like outside of the store before my buddies are like, open it up. Here you go. Get your pickled pig's foot. Because they didn't think I was going to do it. And I'm like, oh no, dude. I'm like, if you've seen it, you know what I'm describing. Like, it's just this piece of meat suspended in like vinegar water. And it looks so bad, dude. And it's just like, it's thicker than bacon. It's just gross,
Really?
dude. Like
Thicker than bacon?
Yeah, it's like a pretty thick piece of meat. At least this was. I don't know.
Whenever I saw it, I thought it was like the consistency of like a boiled egg or something. That's just kind of what it looked like. But
So there's probably different, different like companies do it differently. But this one was like a thick, like fatty, and it's just fatty. It's not like actual meat. It was just like a big old like just fat stick is the. I mean, I don't know how to describe it better than that. And so like I like reach in and I pull it out, and it's just like coming out of the can or the jar, and it's just like, and it's just like just holding a strip of fat in my hand that has been marinated in vinegar. And I don't ever understand. You know, it's one of those weird things that we're like, how did we get here? And why are we doing this? Like, why was this the thing we decided to do? We could have walked into somebody's house. You know, we could have stole someone's dog.
yeah.
And like I remember just sitting there and I'm like, all right. And I had already told myself, I'm just gonna do it, get it over with, so then they have to do it because I know these other guys aren't gonna do it. And so like I just like take the biggest bite out of it and I just start chewing. And I chew and chew and chew. And like halfway through like eating this chunk of fat, I'm like, you know, it's actually not that bad.
Really?
It actually tastes pretty good. Like it's like, I don't know, it's the weirdest thing because it looks disgusting, but I was like, you know, it's actually not bad. And I finished it. But this grossed my buddies out. Like they were so grossed out. And one of them is already like almost puking. And I'm like, all right, guys, go for it. You know, and I'm holding the jar and I'm like putting it in their face because I know that it's not that bad. Like it actually was pretty, you know, pretty decent. I would never probably eat it again, but it wasn't as bad as, you know, I didn't puke or anything, but they ended up, each of them took a bite, and the other guy, one of them did start. He didn't full on puke, but he was like retching, like he was like, and so,
Wow.
yeah, pickled pig's feet. It looks bad. It's like it's all right. It's okay.
Wow. Did not expect that ending. Okay.
But that's why I struggle because like now I look back at it and I'm like, you know, it wasn't that bad. Like it actually, the flavor, like if you get past what you were eating, just a big chunk of fat, like it actually wasn't terrible. But yeah, flavor was good.
All right. Can't say I'll give it a try, but all right.
What if we make a bet?
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. Like I remember thinking it was like this isn't that bad, but I never want to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I will never eat this again. Yeah. That yeah. Pickled pig's feet. And it was also like just the most stereotypical like 4 guys hanging out. Like what are we going to do? Let's eat something gross. That's basically where we went just like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So a little bit of like a throwback to last week. I hadn't seen all these clips. There's one guy in particular. I don't remember his name. I should I should find him and send you clips. Just going back to the Gollum, the Gollum game a little bit. I've seen some of the funniest just glitches from that game, dude. It is astounding to me that they put that game out. And I know we've already been over all this. I've just like, we haven't talked in a week and I've been wanting to say this. It is so funny, dude. I'll have to send you a bunch of them and you'll have to overlay them over this part. But dude, like Gollum goes in this one. I hope I can find it. He goes to like jump up and like grab like, it's like a swinging rope or something like that. And the rope hits him and he dies. And he just falls, dude. It's so funny. It's so hilarious. And this other one, like this guy's like sneaking around and he walks like right through a barrier and he just gets to the end of a level. Like it's like a straight 90-degree angle of just like designed area for the game. And he just walks right off of it. And Gollum just dies. It's the funniest thing, dude.
Yeah, the more that I like see about the game, the more that I do want to do a review of Gollum. I think that would be an awesome segment or video. But
I really think we should play through it together.
Yeah.
Like a co playthrough. I would think it would be great.
Yeah. Like one of the funniest parts about like Gollum falling to his death is that like, so when Gollum jumps, he has an animation with like his arms and his legs up, but if he falls to his death, he doesn't like splat on the ground. He's still in the same animation with his arms and legs up. So it's like, yeah, that's yeah. Funny game.
And just like, oh dude, like how that game got released in the state it's in, it kills me, man. I also too, I hadn't thought about it, but I've seen so many posts online saying basically like, of all the characters in Lord of the Rings you could have made a standalone game about, Gollum is like the most, like the, besides Denethor, he is the least most interesting character. Like his story has already been told so well. He's this hobbit, he finds the ring and he spends like 30 years in the caves and then Bilbo comes and steals the ring. Like that's his whole story arc. And then he goes and he falls in the lava. But like I had never thought of that, but it's like it's really true. Like at the onset of the game, I was really excited for it because I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I was like, oh, I get to play as Gollum. Like I bet, like we talked about, there will be like huge maps to explore and like you can do all this like crazy stealth gameplay and stuff, which now is just like such a meme.
Yeah.
I've also seen this clip of like Gollum dies and then all these NPCs come walking over and they're all like walking over each other and it just is like a big pile of NPCs like trying to get closer to Gollum and they just keep running into each other. It's so great.
Another death animation in quotes is that which I completely forgot about last time, but whenever Gollum gets killed by an NPC, they always grab him by the neck and like smack him or something and then he's dead. And then like no matter what NPC does it, whether it's an orc or an elf, they have the exact same death animation for Gollum. It's so lazy.
It's lazy. Yeah. Anyways, I didn't want to get down a Gollum rabbit hole, but I thought that was funny.
Who knew that the elves were taking the same backhanding lessons as the orcs?
I mean, they do have like common ancestors, right? If you go back far enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just genetics at that point.
Smacking hobbits is in their blood.
That's what they really were about.
Yeah.
So you put this in the chat, and I never got back around to it. But when we're gonna bring a very special person on, and when are we gonna do that? We need to talk about it.
Oh yeah. So I have to talk to him because he's a very hard worker at the night shift at Tim Hortons, and he's He's a very, very good friend of ours. He's been around us as long as we have been around with each other, pretty much. Yeah, he's a great guy. He very funny, especially when you get him riled up. Or in a game, in any game really, it seems. So, yeah, we'll have to get him on, get him talking. When I don't know, we'll have to keep y'all updated on that, or we'll surprise you one of these days. But yeah,
Yeah, I think it should be a total surprise. Like, I think we should just be talking, and then boom, he's here.
yeah, 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 man.
That'll be great. I'm excited for that.
We are, of course, talking about the mighty Skull Basher. He's yeah, he's been around, so it
Yeah,
is.
I would say he's one of the most respected mods in the Call of Duty Zombies community.
Yeah, he's been a mod
Scully,
for Greg FPS for a while.
yep, he's everywhere.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been featured in some Greg FPS videos too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we love you, Scully. We want to bring you on.
yeah.
We'll get with you. Yeah, I feel like we've got to talk about all this Call of Duty drama with Scully. I feel like he will have some pretty good input.
Yeah. And get his thoughts on Seesaw and Fall Guys and just a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
Maybe what we should do, with Skull Basher is a Fall Guys level map. I'm not sure what they call them. Ranking video. I think we should bring him on and we should have him rank the top 10 worst maps in Fall Guys.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I think that's quality content.
Oh yeah, we should definitely get that going. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it.
So yeah, we will be in touch with Mr. Skull Basher, and hopefully we'll get him on here soon.
For sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
On topic with that, do you have a dream guest that, a dream guest could be someone that, like, maybe obviously we can never get, but someone
Yes,
in
I
your
do.
dreams?
I do actually.
Yeah.
And this is a person I've actually met him in real life. I met him at a gaming expo. It was a PlayStation. I don't remember what they call them. The PlayStation show, PlayStation Experience. I think
Something
like
like that.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Hmm.
My dream guest to have on this show is the one, the only, the fighting Boogie 2988.
Wait, you met him?
I met him, dude.
Wow.
I feel like I should have mentioned that before, but yeah, I was at the PlayStation Experience. I don't remember what year. It was the year they announced Bloodborne. That's all I remember. I could probably trace it back there. So this is probably 2013, 2014, I'm guessing. But yeah, Boogie was there. It was announced that he was going to be there, and that was one of the things me and my roommate, who we were also great friends, we were excited for. And we looked for Boogie, and we found him. And I took a picture with him, and I don't know where it is, and I need to find it because I want to show you.
Man,
Yeah,
that would be
I
awesome.
met Boogie, and he was a nice guy. Like, I can't say anything bad about my 30 seconds with him. Great guy, super nice, super down to earth is what it seemed like. So
Yeah. Well, I am glad you said Boogie, because mine is Wings of Redemption.
dude,
I have always wanted to talk to Wings of Redemption because he's just such an anomaly of a person, and it would just be awesome to get him on here and get him talking, man. That would be awesome. So yeah.
we could bring them both on here, and we could announce the rematch.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine? Announce the rematch on Couch Co-op.
Oh yeah. There you go.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Is there anything? I know you he's an interesting personality and interesting. But why Wings of Redemption? Like, what about him do you think would be just so great to have him on here?
Well, he's had a very disturbing track record of just saying the most terrible things on the internet. And like I just think that like just because of that and like making up conversation around that would be like an interesting topic to go over. But yeah, and he lives such an interesting life. Like there he will say something and just like throw it out there and then never mention it again. Uh you know, like he made this like video like so many years ago, and he was on his porch with his grandma and his like grandma's friend, and they had they had certain toys with them, and they were using them, and then like Wings was like touching his like grandma's toy and stuff and like showing it to the camera, and I'm like, I just wanted to ask some questions like, what were you thinking when you were making that video? Where are his grandma sadly did pass away a few years ago, but where was that other lady? What happened to her? I just want to know more about the Wings of Redemption mythos, man. Like if dog, I thought like Elder Scrolls lore was deep, dude. Wings of Redemption lore is like down to like bedrock. It's so deep. There's so much more to know.
That is wild, dude. I didn't know. Like, I don't know Wings of Redemption as well as I know Boogie, but yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the porch.
Yeah.
Just
Casual
here's
South
gra-
Carolina things. Yeah.
here's grandma's stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know where to go with that.
I know. It's
Oh,
tough to go
man.
anywhere with that.
I don't know where to go with that, and I don't know like how. But I guess that just like you're saying, the man is such a enigma. Like he's such a mystery. Like he's perfectly fine putting that out there.
Yeah. Like I mean, I've heard like other people say this. He should not be doing like internet stuff. He should have a reality TV show with all of his like friends and family. And dude, that would be more entertaining than anything on TV right now. I am telling you, because all of it is so just real and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He would. I mean, he would compete with the Kardashians, man. Like
Oh,
he would
yeah.
put them out of that number one spot if they. I mean, I don't know if they're actually there, but that is wild, dude. Yeah, there's some people just like that, and he's one of them. Like wild man. Like he is just a wild man, and like I think it's interesting. Like you're saying, you get to see the family and like the environment they grew up in, and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get it now. Like that would be great.
he grew up in the projects. That's why he says the N word so much. All right, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's funny.
So yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
definitely Wings of Redemption. One of my favorite internet personas out there.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's reach out to him. You know, we never know. We'll hit
Yeah.
him up on the official Couch Co-op Twitter and just be like, hey, I know we have like 4 followers, but get over here.
They are dedicated and they won't troll you. So yeah.
It's true. Yeah, I think kind of going along with that, like Boogie to me has always just like I haven't watched his videos in years because he just got so sad and so depressed and like didn't even want to watch what he was saying because like again, I don't know any content he's put out for like the last 6 or 7 years. Like that's how long it's been since I've watched anything from him. But he had some of the most classic videos on the internet. Like what was it? Fat guy falls into a pool.
Splash. Yeah.
Yeah, pool splash. And like, did you ever watch his Francis videos?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole ton
Like
of
Francis
them.
gets a PS4 and Francis rages about X game or whatever, or whatever. Like just such a interesting personality. And, and I think too, like seeing his rise and his fall really was, as far as I know, due to, in a sense, like his own vanity. Like he cared too much about what people thought about him, which is interesting because the guy is a meme. Like he created his whole persona from a meme. Like he created that for himself, but that's also what he made all his money from and his popularity, because he was like living on the streets essentially. Like he had a really rough life. I don't know if you know much of the Boogie lore, but and then I know I was watching this stream years ago, and he talked about like he was in. Okay, I don't think he was actually in, but he was in some regard in the adult films industry for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think he was actually in any of the films, but like he was somehow involved in like the production of this stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was just so different. Like it just made me think, like, is that where like he draws upon like this maybe like childish persona like Francis? Because like he's been through a lot and like he's seen a lot of stuff. You don't just like start working in the adult film. Oh, maybe you do, I don't know, but like I don't see you as just like being homeless and then like, oh, I'm gonna work in adult films. Like it seems like a pretty far jump and like desperation. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, he has had a wild life, kind of the same. I mean, it's interesting because I would say their lives correlate pretty similarly. They both got pretty famous on the internet for their personalities, and they said some terrible stuff. Nobody liked them, and then they fought each other. So yeah, but yeah, he's wild life, and I've always wondered, and that's some of the stuff I've wanted to ask him is like, do you like? Because I know you've had a rough upbringing. Is that where you draw upon like the Francis character, and like you tried? I feel like for a while he tried to make this really lighthearted, like family-friendly content, and then there was Francis, and then like he threw Francis out the window because YouTube basically was like, you can't swear that much in these videos, and so he just kind of got away from it. And I think that's a lot of his downfall, was getting away from that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think Wings of Redemption had a similar story where he was going to get set up to do an adult film, and then he backed out last second. So that would have been interesting if that actually happened.
Yeah, for sure.
More like ruined his career probably, but
I don't know. There's some pretty popular Twitch streamers that have some pretty poppin' what is it, OnlyFans?
Oh yeah.
One of the sites, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Actually, I heard that someone got banned off of Twitch. I think it was Alinity, the infamous cat thrower, got banned off of Twitch for twerking, and then she got unbanned like after she complained about it on Twitter. So
she probably, I'm guessing, because this is what they always do. They ban them on a Friday, so they can say that they banned them for 72 hours, and then they're back to streaming on Monday. So what they really got was a good weekend off.
Yeah, probably.
That's always how I take it. Like, I don't know, man. They just must have to be bringing in so much money for Twitch.
Yeah.
Because, like, it is just so, I think we've talked about this before, like at any given time when I go to my Twitch, at least one, if not like multiple videos that are recommended are pool and swimming or whatever that the category is. And it's
hot tubs,
yeah, hot tubs, pools, whatever. But if it's live, it's always pushing out Amaranth. Like that's the one person that always is pushed out to me. There's a couple of others, but yeah, like they must just have to make so much money, because I feel like nobody really wants that on Twitch. At least none of the people who classically were on Twitch, anyways.
Yeah. Twitch is for animals, I think. So, at least like the bigger people anyway, especially like that. So, I don't know. I've never really been a fan of Twitch just because of how many ads I get in a stream. It just like turns me off. I'm like, dog, how many ads? 3 or 4? I'm gonna watch something on YouTube. Screw this. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then they incentivize the streamers to put more ads out, and they're like, if you put, I don't remember what it is. It's like 5 minutes of ads every hour, or maybe it's more. I can't remember. Then you get a 50-50 ad revenue split. You make more money, but you have to push more ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've streamed on Twitch. It's weird because I like the platform for some things. Like, it is more streamer friendly, but you also just have, like, it's Twitch. Like, you have to deal with a lot of Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think about like these like platforms that allow people to like straight up stream adult films and stuff like Kick?
Okay, so I think if you're gonna, like, here's my thing with like Twitch. I'm gonna bring it back to Twitch. Twitch for years has been essentially streaming like soft porn, like, like, and it's like, I'll get to Kick in a second, but I just feel like at this point Twitch might as well just allow it. Like, they're losing, like, because they're losing the battle now, because Kick literally lets whatever go up on the website. And that's always been my thing with Twitch is like, you're basically allowing it anyways. You're allowing these people to stream, and then they just push their content on your platform. Like, sure, they have to go over to this other platform and pay. Like, I don't get Twitch's, they pretend to take the moral high ground. Like, they're like, oh, well, we're not going to allow this on our platform, but we'll allow everything up to when the clothes come off, basically. But anything before that is fine. But they can go on there and, they can push all their OnlyFans content. But, like, so as a business model, and I think the reason Twitch does that is, I'm guessing, for advertiser reasons. Like, people don't want to advertise on a platform like that. So getting over to Kick, like, I just think if you, as a kid and as a parent, if you don't want your kid exposed to stuff on the internet, your kid should not be on the internet.
Yeah.
And I don't think it should be as easy as to find for kids, but it really is. Like, it's so easy to find. You can put internet blockers. You can find, you can put all these things on your internet. Kids are going to find a way around it if that's what they really want. And so I look at Kick, and in one sense, I think what they're doing is smart, and they are trying to pull a lot of the, I would say, the Amaranth, the Alinity, I don't know any of the others, but a lot of the more, I would say, just adult type, just chatting content. I think they're trying to pull that over to Kick, because I don't know, but it seems like Kick doesn't really care about the advertisers. I don't actually know. Do you know if they have advertisers on Kick?
I think they're mostly backed by Stake, that gambling site. I think that's where they're mostly getting their money from.
Right. So, like, in a sense, I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying. Like, in a sense, it doesn't make sense to me why Twitch doesn't just create a new category. You have to verify that you're 18, which is the same as any other, like, adult content website, and then just allow it on their platform. Like, they're basically letting fish go to other platforms, but I don't know. What do you think?
Well, whenever I think of Kick, and the reason why I brought up the adult film part is because Aiden Ross was literally watching adult movies, and like, this dude has like kids as his fan base, and it's like super messed up, I think. That he's doing that, and like, I think there's even this like one clip of him, actually I think multiple, like, talking about his sister's OnlyFans and how like he's like seen it, and like It's just just this weird stuff, and yeah. So, which by the way, there's a similar clip of Wings of Redemption talking about his sister from years ago. But anyway,
Oh, no.
that's so yeah. Yeah. I do like how there is Kick and Rumble now to kind of diversify the platforms that we have to use for, video streaming, content creation, stuff like that. It's always better to have more competitors in an industry instead of one or two dominants. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like I said, I think it should be harder to access on the internet because, I mean, depending on who you ask, like it's either really damaging to the brain, to the adolescent brain, or it's not damaging. Like I would lean towards it's very addicting, and like I would say it's addicting, and it is slightly damaging to young brains, but yeah, like I think that's a super messed up thing for Aiden Ross to do. Just because you can do it, I don't think you should.
No.
Like I think that's a really, really messed up thing, and that's where I get so annoyed at Twitch because it's like, dude, sure there are clothes on, but barely. Like, because, do you remember when Twitch had like clothing guidelines, and then they just kind of like brushed them under the rug? They're like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Like, we're making a lot of money doing this.
Yeah.
So like I don't think Kick's doing the right thing there. Like there needs to be, but like I said, kids can get around it if they want. Like, and unless you as a parent are sitting right there with your kid, watching everything they're doing, like it's gonna happen, unfortunately. But that's why I get annoyed with Twitch is I just see Twitch as a gateway. Like these young boys get on to an Alinity stream or an Amaranth stream, and it really does like upset me. I've had some discussions with people about it. Is you pull in these young viewers, and that's what it's doing. You've got the really young viewers, and then the older men who have just never had a female company in their entire life, and that's like what they have, and that's where most of those are the whales. You'd classify them as the whales, but then you have the young whales that what you're teaching them is, you can go onto a platform and you can find someone to talk to if you pay them money. Instead of forming real relationships and learning like what real relationships are about. So I see Twitch as essentially a gateway drug. Like it just, I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's so easy to accept, to access. I don't know why I'm struggling with that word. But then like on there, they're like, go check out my OnlyFans. It's $5 a month or whatever. Go get mommy's credit card. If you don't have $5, what are you doing watching my stream? I don't know. I mean, I think our views kind of overlap on it. Like, I just, it's, I just don't see it as any different. Like, you can argue, like, sure, they technically are clothed, but you're still selling adult related content for money. Like, I don't see it as any different. So,
yeah, it's I would very much compare Twitch to like marijuana, and then like the adult stuff to like crack cocaine, right? That's where you start and that's where you end up. So yeah.
All right, like I mean, as like a kid, like you were watching I don't know who's a pop Ninja. You're watching Ninja. You're watching some Fortnite. I would never, but a kid might watch Ninja for whatever reason. And then you see this Amaranth with like 10,000 viewers or whatever. Pools, hot tubs, and spas or whatever, whatever. What is that? And that's all it takes. Like that, you've created a drug addict at that point.
Do you remember when I think it was when Ninja moved to Mixer and Ninja's account on Twitch was still up, and there was literal porn on Ninja's page live streaming after he left to Mixer. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, that was That was so weird.
Like that was on Ninja's end or on Twitch's end?
So it was like when you go to like a dormant account and it'll show like the recommended streams. It showed like one or two like porn streams.
Okay, I know what you're talking. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. Oh, jeez. The old Mixer move, and then come back a year later with like, it was like an insane amount of money, right? Like 10 million or
Something crazy like that.
it was a crazy amount of money for it to not work out.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But yeah, so like to kind of sum up what I'm saying, which I don't know if I really need to because I've rambled for a long time, but like I get what Kick is doing, and to a certain regard, like I don't get why Twitch isn't doing the same thing. The only thing is like the advertisers, but I think Twitch like takes this moral high ground, which they definitely shouldn't, because like we've discussed, they are the gateway. Like that is where kids, young minds get started on that path.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, kind of as I don't know, a wrapper upper, I suppose, if you're ready to tone things down. I recently finished a TV show, and it is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. It is called Barry. It is on HBO Max now, not HBO Max. HBO is gone, I guess. Now it's just called Max, but
Max.
yeah. So, you know, it's the dog name anyway. So yeah, Barry is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. The main character is played by Bill Hader. I think he's most known for being on SNL. But like the show can be like very funny at times, and then the next scene you'll be crying your eyes out. It's like I kind of love it for the same reason that I loved Andor, because it's so human and it's a lot more nuanced than like black and white and, you know, right or wrong stuff. It's just fantastic from beginning to end, and the show just concluded like last Sunday, and that finale, man, was nuts. That like final like minute was just perfect. I absolutely love that show. You definitely check it out if you haven't. It's yeah, it's just awesome.
I will definitely check it out.
Yeah, man.
I'm always looking for a great show to watch. I'm like halfway through season 5 of Peaky Blinders.
Oh, all right, cool. Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that sometime too.
Yeah, we'll talk about
By
that.
order of the Peaky Blinders, of course.
Yeah, I love it, man. Peaky Blinders is such a great show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, season 5 is my favorite season out of all.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm not gonna say anything, but the last episode is like one of my favorite episodes in television ever. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just finished episode 4.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, that like spoiler alert, but the scene where they put mines in his field.
Oh,
And he goes running out to check out the scare. Oh, dude. Crazy. The suspense. And then
The
Charlie
music.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Charlie comes out, dude. And like you are sure that he's going to step on a landmine. Like you're certain. Like I knew it. And he didn't, thankfully.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but yeah. But yeah, I will check out Barry, because if it's like I trust your show recommendation off of Peaky Blinders alone, but I definitely will check that out. Yeah. Yeah, I another one I wouldn't put it up there as much. It's like I would say my recommendation for shows right now would be, and I feel weird recommending it because it's so like graphic and gory, is The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys,
Hell yeah, dude. I love
The
The
Boys. Like I keep telling my friends, and they're like, "Oh, isn't that like?" And I'm like, "It is," but it's like it's good. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's very like graphic, and we don't need to go into it on here, but the other one I've been watching is Silo. Have you heard of Silo?
I haven't, no.
So it's on Apple,
Okay.
and you'll have to check out a trailer. So without like ruining too much of it, I looked at it and it seemed like such a meme to me because it looks like such a ripoff of Fallout.
Really?
Because basically what's going on, and it still could be for all I know, but basically what's going on is there's people stuck in a silo. They call it the silo, and like they can't go outside, and their whole culture has been in this silo for like hundreds of years, and like they don't know what's going on, and it's forbidden to talk about the past. And if you have any relics from the past, then you'll be sent outside, and there's a sensor that they can go out and they can look. It shows like everyone in the silo what's outside, and it looks like really beautiful and like grassy, but it's like deadly. And everyone who goes out to clean, they die after like 10 minutes. So anyways, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's interesting. I looked at it as the biggest like Fallout ripoff I've ever seen. Like when I watched the advertisement for it, and you'll have to go watch it, I was like, this just looks like an Apple knockoff of Fallout. But it actually, I would say it's actually pretty good. Like if you're looking for a new show to watch.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's decent. It's I wouldn't put it up there with like Peaky Blinders, but
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes, because maybe it's going to get better. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So
All right. Well, if you want to end us off, you can go ahead with that if you'd like.
well, gang, thanks for checking us out. It's been fun. We really appreciate you guys who tune in with us. I will say this again: boycott Activision. I will say that. I'm going to have that engraved on my tombstone. Never buy another Call of Duty. Boycott Activision. Any Activision product. I don't care what it is. They will screw you over.
Yeah.
But with that, thanks for checking out the Couch Co-op. My name's Cal. Been here with Riley. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye-bye.